Hello everyone. So we are going to start our practical lab for the Azure Data Factory. We will see each and every activity one by one. In this particular video, we are going to see how actually we can perform a copy activity in Azure Data Factory. So we have a business requirement. First step, we will try to understand the business requirement, and then we will think about the solutioning part, and then we will move for the practical part. So this is how actually we are going to follow. So let us understand the business requirement. So our business requirement is like we have a data that is available in Azure storage input container. So in Azure we have a blob storage. We have created one input container. In this input container we are getting a data from outsource. Now what we have to do, we have to copy this data to Azure storage output container. So what we have to do, we have to copy this data which is available in input container. We have to copy this data into the output container in a blob storage. So it is very simple, right? Whatever the data is coming into the blob storage input container, that data you have to copy into the blob storage output container. For that we have to create a pipeline in a Azure Data Factory. So that is the practical we have to do. So what we are doing, we are copying a data which is available in a blob storage input container to the blob storage output containers. That is a practical. Now whenever you will create Azure Data Factory pipeline, what are the steps generally we have to follow? Let's try to understand. So whenever we will create Azure Data Factory pipeline, these are the steps we have to follow. So what is the first step? In this scenario, if you will see, what we are going to do, we are going to perform a copy activity because we have to just copy a data which is available in input container to the output container. So first step, what is the activity you are going to follow? So we are going to follow copy activity. So copy activity we have selected. Now after that, what is the next thing? Next thing is like you have to understand what is your source and the destination. What is my source and the destination? Source and destination both are blob storage in this case. So we have understand what is my source. Source is also blob storage, and my target is also blob storage. So what I will do, first I will try to create a data set. Create a data set. In this data set, what actually I will try to do, I will try to point out to the my source location. Similarly for the target also I will create a one data set. This target data set will point out to the target location. So first step is to create the activity, to decide the activity. Second step is to create a data set, and the next step is to create a link service. What link service will have? Link service will have to access the source location. So blob storage. So if you have to access a blob storage, so for that you should have a access. So this link service will help to access the blob storage. Similarly here also, to access the target location, we will create a link service so that we will be able to access the output container. So these are the steps generally we will follow whenever we create any Azure Data Factory pipeline. Now let me show you the data set. So this is the data set what we have. We have a employee ID, name, salary, address, location. So this is the CSV file we have. Let me open Azure storage. So this is, I have login with the portal.azure.com. I have created one storage account. The storage account is the POC storage, or you can search like storage account. Once you will search the storage account, you will see your storage. If you haven't created a storage account, please do create a storage account. We have already covered in a last video. So click on the POC storage. After that, go to the container. In this container, we will try to create a two container. I'll click on the container. Click on the plus container. You can see, right? We are going to create a new container. I'll give the container name as a input. So make sure you give in a lowercase and the unique. You can see input container I have name given. I'll click on the create. So I created one container, input container. I will create another container. That container name will be the output container. Output. So this is the container I will create for my target location. So I created two container, input and the output. I'll go to the input. I'll try to upload a file. How to upload? Click on the upload button. Browse for file and upload that particular file. I will upload this particular file. Upload. Now you can see apply1.csv we have copied into the input container. If you want to see this particular file, click here, go to the edit, and you can see preview. you will be able to see this is the file we have. Now what we want to do, we want to create one data pipeline which will copy a data from an input container to a output container. As of now, output container there is no data. So we'll create one Azure Data Factory pipeline which will copy a data from input to the output. So I will search for the data factory. I already created a data factory. We have already seen like how to create a data factory also. I'll click on the POC data factory here. Launch studio, open in a new studio. So this particular screen you will see once you will open a data factory. Now what we had to do, you had to go to the author. In this author only we will try to perform all the data pipeline creation and all. So you can see you have option pipeline, change data capture, data set, data flow. I'll click on the pipeline, click on the new pipeline. Once you will click on the new pipeline, you can see this all the activities there. So what is our first step? First step to decide the activity. What activity we want to perform? We want to perform a copy activity. So in a move and transform, you can see we have a copy activity. You have to select and you have to drag here. Once you will select and drag, you are going to perform a copy data activity. Okay, it's very simple, right? Now click on this copy data. Now you can see general name, you can give any name. So I can give name as a blob to blob, so that you can see here also it is coming like blob to blob copy. Description you want, you can give any description. Timeout, retry if any failure is happening. For that we give a retry and the timeout option. As of now we are not giving. Now what I will do, I'll go to the source. Now in the source what we will do, we'll try to create a data set. So you can see we have a source data set. So what is our first step? First step is to create a data set. So first we will create a data set for the source and then we will create a data set for the target. So you can see source and the data set, right? Click on the new. Here you will see different option. Means your source can be anything. Your source can be blob storage, your source can be data lake, your source can be MongoDB, your source can be MySQL, different, right? So what is our source? So our source is the blob. So I'll select the Azure blob storage. Continue. After that, we have to select our file. My file is CSV file, so I'll select that. If your file is JSON, so you can select that schema also. Mine is CSV, so I'll select that. Continue. After that, we have to create a link service. Link service will help to connect with the blob storage. So I'll click on the new. We are going to create a new link service. You can see we have given the name as Azure blob storage. After that, the integration runtime, because our source and the target both are available into a Azure space only, so we are going to use the auto resolve integration runtime, that is the by default one. After that, we have to select the subscription. We have to select our storage account. So this is the storage we have created. After that, you just have to click on the test connection. You can see connection is successful and then click on the create. So with this with the help of this link service, we are able to connect with the blob storage. Now after that, you have to select the file path. So I'll click on this browse, which particular file you want to have your source. So this is our source. I'll select this file as my source. You can see input container and the employee1.csv. This is my source. First row as header. So whether your file contain the first row as header, yes. So I'll select this, and after that you have to click on the OK. Now you can see we have created a data set. Now whether you are able to connect or everything looks good or not, how actually you will check? You have to click on the preview data. Once you will click on the preview data, and if you are able to see your file as it is, then you are good. Otherwise, if any error occurs, you will not be able to see any data in a preview data itself. So that's how we have to debug also. Now our source is ready. We have created a data set. Now what actually we want to do? I will go to the sink. For the sink, where actually we want to store our data, we want to store in a blob storage. So for that also we have to create a data set. So in a diagram, if you will see, right, We have created a data set for source. Now again we will create a data set for our target location. Where you want, so first I will click on the new. Where you want to store your data. We want to store in the blob storage, so I'll select that. But if you want to store in a MySQL, PostgreSQL based on your requirement, you can select that. Blob storage I will select. Continue. I want to store in the form of a CSV only, so I'll select that. But if you want to save as a JSON, you can select that also. So CSV only I will select. Now after that we'll create a link service. You can use the same link service because that is the same blob storage, but let's see how actually we can create a link service. So I'll give the link service name. After that you have to select your subscription. After that you have to select the blob storage. After that click on the create. Now after that file path, where you want to store, I want to store into this output container because this is my target, right? So I'll select that, and after that I'll just click on the OK. Now my source and my sink is ready. For source I created a dataset and link service. For the target also I created a dataset and the link service. Now after that what we have to do, now your data pipeline is now ready. Now what actually you will do, if you want to validate this, click on the validate all. You can see we have a validate all option, right? Click here. Once you will click here, and if you will see no error, then you are good. Click on the close. So validated all resources going on. In the notification window you will see. So what you have to do, validate all. Your data factory has been validated. Close. After that you have to click on the publish all. So whatever the changes you are doing, right, so you have to first publish before running the pipeline. You can see publishing is going on, deployment is going on. Once it will complete, then we will try to run the pipeline. Now you can see publishing, deploying changes to the factory. So whatever the changes we are doing, first we have to validate all, and then we have to publish. You can see publish is completed. Now if you had to run this pipeline, how actually you will run? You can see we have option add trigger. So if you click on the add trigger, you have a two option, trigger now and the new edit. If you had to schedule, then you will go for the new edit. But if you had to test and if you had to run manually, then you can click on the trigger now. Then your pipeline will start running. That will copy a data from a input to the output. So let me click on the trigger now. Click on the OK. Now if you have to monitor your pipelines, so you can see we have a monitor option. Come here, you can see this is the pipeline which is running and it is in progress state. Once it will complete, it should be able to copy a data from our blob storage input container to the output container. If it is doing, then we are good. You can see it is succeed now. Now what I will do, I'll go here in a Microsoft Azure. I'll go to my storage account. In the storage account, I'll go to the container. In the container, in output, I will see whether my data is copied or not. You can see my data is copied. So with the help of the data factory, we are able to copy. Let's see how data looks. You can see data looks as it is, what actually it was available there. So that is how actually we can create a pipeline using Azure Data Factory. That's how we can create a data set link service. So I hope you got it. In next video, we'll do a more practical and we'll try to understand more.